you just then, and it's sorted. So we are live streaming to whatever various pages that I've got it going to, which is Facebook and YouTube and a few others. We're here for our daily Lenormand card spread reading. So I'm going to switch over to that screen in a sec. Just tune into your intuitive senses, switch on that psychic little feely thingies and that connection with spirit. Tune into in whichever way you do, so that you can actually see the cards here as I've got them. Yes, the light's still a bit funny on the cards. I still haven't got the background colour right that I want. This is one that I use for lace making. It's a dark green and it's still not quite the right colour. The light from the window can be varied, and that's why it's looking a little faded this morning, I think, because it is actually quite a bright sunlight. Right. So what we're doing here this morning is the 5-card spread that I have done for so long now. What we've got though is I switched around this is home space, not workspace now. I switched these two around in the way that I do the reading, because I figure personally that home is the first place we be. So that's where the cards start, here in that home space. So we've got the stork in the home space, we've got the older gentleman in the workspace. What we've got up the top in the unexpected is the coffin. We've got the books here in your role, and the magnifying glass in the centre as the outcome, or the basis of what we're looking at today in the energy of the cards. Now, what we've got, good morning, Tanya, lovely to see you here. And we've got Sarah, lovely to see you here this morning. And Tanya's saying very quiet this morning, can hardly hear you. Okay, let me see if turning up a volume helps of my microphone. That's my speaker volume. So if you can hardly hear me, maybe check that your own volume is up, because I've done that myself, where I've been listening to people and wondering, gee, that's quiet, and it was actually me. Give me a hoy if it's still too quiet though. I don't know that I've got much option. I'm through the external mic. This is the card deck that I'm using, so Sarah, good. The usual one that I'm using, I decided to put my face a little bit bigger. So Sarah, your sound is all good. Yours is up, Tanya. Yes, got set loud, but you're very quiet. I'll try to talk a bit louder then. Maybe I was just talking lower. Right, and here we've got Latika, good morning. I don't do the one-on-one like the personal card readings for this session this morning, Latika. This is a general card spread. So tune into your own senses as to, your own ability to connect with spirit. Hear what mine is as that general interpretation for everyone, and feel that whether it's relevant for you or not, or whether you have a different set of understandings around what you're hearing, what you're seeing with the cards, okay? So that's how we do that. Now, is that volume of me speaking okay for anyone that would like to respond? I have tried to pick the volume of my voice up, but I don't like yelling, and that makes it a little bit difficult. So here we've got the stork. It is that change, what we've got in the home space. Nest, perfect card to have for the home space, actually, because of the fact it is that couple creating space for family, because a nest, of course, is to house the eggs that they're about to have, to lay and create the perfect nest, perfect scenario for, and they're just changing it up a little bit. You might not be able to see it, but the male has I'm assuming this is the male, has the last stick in his mouth to place on the nest. So that's perfect, Sarah. Good, thank you. Thank you for that feedback. So with that, it is about some change that might be happening this morning. And I've just had someone pop into the Facebook card reading group, or my profile, because that's the one on the eCam that doesn't show a name. So good morning to you. I'm just going to have a looky cookie on my Oh dear, I'm just monitoring, just turning that on. It's supposed to be going there. Let me just have a look, see if it's working on one of the Facebook pages. Sorry for the disruption. And that's a bit weird. It's saying fifth. This video is live now. I was probably clicking on the wrong one. That's on the page. Yeah, that's going fine. Okay. Sorry about that. Whoops. Now it's going full blast. Some of this stuff, like I said to start with, it can be challenging. And because I have had so many little bits and pieces of issues, I am needing to double check as I'm going. Oh, I don't have it on my page. Oh, look, it's all right. I'm going to drop it now. And the YouTube, it should be working there somewhere too. It's saying, is it saying I'm live? Gosh, I don't know. Probably because I've got two of them going in there. Don't know. Yeah, it's going live twice. That's it. And that's it. Here we go, back to the reading. We've nearly finished with this one because they've nearly finished changing up their home space. They've made the nest. It's all nearly nearing that final finessing. So I'm thinking that what you're needing to do for your own home space, for your own, and it can include the relationships that are within it, to actually sense into what is that finesse? What's that final detail that you're needing to actually look at? And Victoria, I don't do the card pulls or that this morning. This is a general card reading, so tune in, as I mentioned to Latika. So good morning, Kat. Lovely to have you here live too. Nice. And even if you're just listening as you're heading to work. So tune into what you're needing to, that sense of what you're needing to finesse to fine tune your home space. There's something that's just got that final edge to it that you know that you're needing to actually put into place. And this is where, if we're using this magnifying glass in the center as the basis, the central energy of what the card spread is this morning, then look with the magnifying glass at that detail. So, what is it that I'm missing? Don't miss it. It's giving us that sort of suggestion to look at the finer detail. And I'll come to that as the outcome card last. Okay, so we move that from our home space and sensing into what is that, what we have as the more important part of our lives, I would hope, is our home and those relationships. We're moving into that workspace. And with this older gentleman, the part that I actually found with this, oh, wonderful to see you, Mark. You're on Periscope. So it's still working. I thought they were making it a bit defunct, or is that just the live streaming to it? And can't be, because you're watching. So it was supposed to go away, I thought. Or is it the dregs going over to Twitter? Uh, this is where, we are in the control of what is the companies that manipulate what they do, etc., to suit themselves more than the customer or the people who are watching and doing. So nice to see you here, Mark. Wonderful. And I love that name, Ambient Soul Vibration. Wonderful. Anyway, we're here, and as mature male energy is present now, what we've got, that my eye actually went to the positioning of how he's facing. So he's actually facing out and looking more into what is the future in this respect. Because if you look at the cards in most spaces and places, you learn that it's past, present, future when it's a three set. I mean, I've used that energy of reading before as well, of the past, present, future. And this one, it's looking even more that this older male is looking into the future and wondering. What I noticed, my eye went straight away to the sadness on the face. To me, the expression was picking up a sadness and and almost a worried look, as if something's not quite right. So in the workspace, what I felt with that one was more immediately that, and especially with the magnifying glass there as the basis energy, is there's something that's being missed, or something that's needing to actually have that closer look, because it's worrying you. So if in the workspace there's something that really is bothering you or worrying you, or giving you a bit of concern of the what's next, you need to look a bit deeper into that. What's the origin of that feeling for you? Is it a work relationship, or is it a process that's not quite looking like it's in the right space or place, or not quite going to move what you're doing in the right direction, that you've got some concern over that? So do have that closer look in that and feel into, what is it? Because there has to be a source to that. So dig out that source and have the closer look at the details so that you are actually able to do something with that, as moving it forward in, so that you can feel more comfortable, really, in that you're on the right path with it, that it's actually moving where it needs to be. The unexpected card is part of that too. I'm feeling, look, there's something within whatever that project is, that might pop up unexpectedly, project or work, that's going to need to be killed off. Not killed off, that's the wrong word, buried. It's the coffin. There's some part that you may have been hanging on to, what might be a pet project for a fair time, and it's still not working right. And maybe it is the time to actually bury it, to say, look, that is enough. I think it's dead in the water. We don't need to be moving forward with the energy being put that direction and change what you're doing. So, or just say, well, it actually is finished. It could be that something you've been working on is finished and you don't need to be looking any further. Put it into that next stage, that next step. I'm feeling that in itself is moving into a trust self too. So the older male is strong, wise, and able to move things forward a lot more um, confidently, I would say, than the younger male. Okay. So in that combination, and even with what's in the home space as well too, there's some energy around that might pop up that really needs for you to look at. Is this finished? Is it something that we need to move on from? So it's almost like a burial and moving on from it with that unexpected energy. What we have in our own space of our role is the books. So it could be looking further into details of some of our knowledge too, so that we're actually going to do a little bit of study or homework or research around something that'll bring us forward in our knowledge, that'll bring some finer, it could be a finer detail of something we've missed in that little piece of information we're needing. Okay. And even as far as some of that goes, this is the reading, the studying side, but it still does remind me of that dear diary that we locked away as a secret book in our youth that we'd write, our little heartfelts in. I'm still feeling that there is the opportunity to write your own notes about whatever it is, or create your own in writing a book. If that's what you're doing, that you are probably writing a book. Um, yeah, okay. I can see that one happening there. Excuse me. And thank you to anyone that would like to report spam, block, etc. So moving on from that book, and there is a comment there that you would see and know for those who are on that correct page for that one. So with that, thank you. Moving it into, here we've got the magnifying glass. It really is encouraging us and being that basis of looking into the finer detail of what is the energy that we are moving within through our day to day. It's just not taking everything for granted. It is actually feeling like we need to be aware and hold that magnifying glass up at certain times in our day, that we are feeling and looking at things in more depth, in a closer aspect, so that we actually do see and feel that finer detail. Sometimes when we are moving through our day, it can almost feel like it's on autopilot. Sorry if my volume just dropped then. I was aware that I probably had started almost a whispery type sense there. But excuse me, sometimes when you're actually moving through your day, we can do it as an almost autopilot, and we're just going with whatever is happening. We're almost, not taking notice of what else is around us or looking at that finer detail. So that's where I'm feeling that the magnifying glass really is bringing us to look closer, to feel into with a bit more depth some of those things that we're experiencing through our day and being involved with. So take note of that, have that awareness as you're moving through the day. If you feel like you need to actually go back to look at the photo that is of these cards, just to remind yourself through the day at any point in time, sometimes it is a good idea to actually look at these cards and think where your eye goes to at that particular moment out of these five. And that's part of the unexpected. Oh, is that what I'm really feeling right now? I mean, look into it, because spirit will guide us to what we're needing in each and every moment. It's not just this is it for the morning this morning and then forget about it. The whole energy is influential throughout the whole day, because it's what we are reading when we're using these tools. It's our energy of what's around and about us at any particular time, but also over the whole day. Okay, so thank you for being here and sharing this time with me in this reading. So if you need any further help with more in-depth readings, you can certainly look at my rosboundy.com.au website or the buymeacoffee.com/rosboundy. There's slightly different things on each of those sites, but the Buy Me a Coffee is, you don't have to buy a service, you just buy me a coffee if that's what all you want to do. But there are some of the services there as well. So I'll mix it around a little bit. So thank you very much for that. I am going to be on again in the morning, even though it's a volunteer day, it could be a little bit earlier. And what's Wednesday night? Leanne is on tonight with her messages from Spirit. And I'm just trying to think, we have got some time that we're going to be in June at Mount Gambier. We're going to spend the weekend there. Keep an eye out for the posts that I'll put up about that once I know which weekend, and got some dates and a booking site for you for that, for those who are in the southeast. Otherwise, have a wonderful, beautiful day. Be the best person that you can be, as we always are. And namaste till tomorrow. Bye for now. And thank you. I've just still got this one on Be Live going. So, Julie, you'll need to watch the replay. This is a general reading, not a detailed one for card pulls. And thank you so much, Sarah. And you have a lovely day too. Bye for now.